What is up, everyone? I'm back again, and today it's another review of another episode of WandaVision. This is the episode 3. um, Last week we got the first two episodes. They were in black and white. By the end of that one, we saw it change the color. That those episodes were based on the Dick Van Dyke Show, and I think it was called Bewitched, right? And this one is set around kind of the setting of the Brady Bunch, and there is some already some stuff inside the intro of the song as well that has something possibly to do with the villain. But I'll get to that in a bit. But it's a real fun intro. It's definitely they made it look like that, but it's just her and Vision. But I love how they have set those things up, those interests to be like that. Um, and it's it's great to see each episode how it changes, how they really make the setting around all those shows exactly. They pretty much do it really good and really spot on, and the atmosphere of it all and everything. I love that. I love that a lot. But before I get into the spoiler, this is spoiler section. This is probably gonna be a full video. It's gonna be short because it's just one episode. Last time I had to do two, so there will be like half, just or the first couple minutes. No, it's gonna be me telling what I thought about the episode in general, not in spoilers, and then I'll tell you when the spoilers come in, when I'm gonna talk about what happened in the episode and all the details and stuff. This episode, I swear, there's a lot revealed in this one. So, but let's just start off with what I thought. This episode was definitely my favorite so far because it really dove in even more into really what this reality is and how it's affecting everybody in in the thing. I'm not gonna go into spoilers now, effects, but we can really see that Wanda, more of Wanda's powers, at least I can say, in a way, going through a lot of stuff that she goes through in this episode. Um, and I like it. I like it. Both Wanda and Vision, and how they're affected, how their powers really respond kind of how they get activated with everything that happens, and and every character really has a point in this one. All those characters we've seen before, they really further along the plot even more in this one. Like Agnes, um, Ralph, I think his name was, or Burf, or like I think he was called the black guy. I'm pretty sure it's called. His name was Ralph. I think it was Ralph, and also we have Monica Rambeau as well, who is called in this reality. She's called, what was it? I cannot remember at the moment. Yeah, right, Geraldine. She's called Geraldine in this. In Wanda's reality, they call her Geraldine. But and there's something very special about her in this episode too, which I'll get into when I get to the spoilers. But I like how every character really gets their moments in this, and it really first long, and it is some really good like name dropping in this one as well, and some really fun good moments, and which make you really think on what this is all actually going to lead to, and which and who is actually the villain in all this. Last time I talked a lot about uh, being either being like Mephisto or the Grim Reaper or others like that, and Agatha Harkness. Um, and they're dropping even more hints in this one who the villains are. But I'll get to that later. I'm not gonna tell anything now because for those of you who haven't seen it, but definitely I'm loving this show so far. This is definitely my favorite episode so far. A lot of really cool stuff happened. So a lot of fun. I loved so a lot in this one because there was some really fun, clever moment in how they're handling, you know, Wanda's pregnancy and all that. That because that we saw in the end of last episode that she got pregnant. She was pregnant. So they're handling this and that in this episode. So I'll get to that in a bit, but it's really fun how everything pans out really and with her baby and all that stuff. But so yeah, um, but that's pretty much what I think. Generally, I enjoyed the episode throughout, and it was some great funny moments. The setting of the Brady kind of thing with the backgrounds and everything actually looking like they're actually fake, and all that. I love all the details they put in, and all the small hints in the episode towards kind of the setting or towards Wanda's kind of mindset and all that throughout, which I'll also get to. Well, I'll also get to that in a bit, but they're hinting towards small things always and have some small Easter egg kind of things in there. So yeah, definitely a great episode. Go check it out if you haven't. Go check out the whole. If you haven't seen any of the, so what are you doing here? Go check out the whole show so far. The 3 episodes that are out so far. It's really great. It's really wonderful. So I'm loving it. I'm loving it. So yeah, but that's pretty much for the just the normal stuff. Uh, uh, I'm just enjoying myself. Definitely watching this. So yeah. But yeah, that's pretty much that for the non-spoiler section. If you haven't seen it, go check it out, and then you can come back. So, but if you have seen it, you will keep watching. We're getting into the spoilers now. But if you haven't, thank you for watching. I'll see you guys next time. But without further ado, let's just get into the spoiler section. Um, so in this episode, this is like it's so crazy because it start off with Wanda dealing with her pregnancy because her pregnancy like is because she has these special powers. Her pregnancy is really going quicker than anybody else. It's really going um like her belly is like growing really quickly. Like every minute is like getting bigger and bigger, and she actually this actually leads to her giving birth in this episode, which I will get to. But it instead of being like 9 months, it's just like a few hours. Their whole pregnancy. So it's really fun. I like it. I like it a lot how they do some things and how her and Vision are reacting to each other during this. Vision is like also getting stressed out and going crazy as well, and she is also really stressed. Oh, he's trying to like read a book about pregnancy to try to help her out, and when she gets stressed, she has to do this who kind of breathing exercise kind of thing just to calm herself down, and both of them do that. So it's like it really fun. I love that. And then we have like when a sprinkler goes off, like the sprinkler like did your water like your water broke. It was like a little joke about the water breaking, so that was pretty fun as well. um and throughout the thing you can see some kind of fun details about how what they say and how she is and everything. I can't remember exactly what it was right now. um Not entirely sure. But I'll maybe put it down below. There is like a dish soap kind of thing that says something like that has to with emotion of wanting something to do. Can't really remember right now, but I'll put it down below. I'll put all the pictures about what I'm talking about down below. A link to all those pictures that I post those pictures on my Twitter. So go check out my Twitter as well if you haven't. So, but there is a little hint towards that. There's always those little things throughout the whole episode, and I really enjoy that. I really enjoy how they do that. And as the episode goes on, her stomach grows obviously, and they call in a doctor And it's like the most obvious thing. Like, yeah, you're pregnant. Like, oh yeah, they're like, no shit. We know that, but it's like this kind of airheaded kind of stuff, and it's really funny because um they say like, and he starts saying like, because but what is the problem, can you help us, and he starts talking about like the when a mom and dad that like really like each other. He starts giving the talk like that. um I really enjoy the comedy in this, very funny. And the doctor also is a very important part of this as well, of something that really dives more into the reality and how everything is getting affected. And I get to that later on, but he's definitely a very interesting character, and I really enjoyed him as well. But he's going on vacation. He's have to go off to vacation. He says he's gonna go. Um, what was it? Mm, can't remember that, but he says something. He's going to a place, like he's going um outside. There's something going on. I can't remember. I forgot to write it down. But he says like, yeah, I'll probably put it also down below. Everything I forget, I'll put down below. But he says something about he's going to some place, and that really shows firsthand. First off, that it's like it's hard to get out of town. It's like he's probably hinting towards that they're trapped there in a way. That's the first hint towards someone really feeling that they're trapped inside some type of like a bubble or so. And but the episode goes on, and Wanda tries to like deal with everything with her pregnancy. Vision trying to help her always, and after a while, directly we see that they go into this room. They try to create the room um, uh, for the baby, and and they see like she makes this kind of like what do you call it, like a like none of those spinning things for babies. I don't remember its name right now, but she makes one of those, and the butterflies like come to life, and that's somewhat like a small hint. Totally, I'm not gonna say I'm not gonna tell you what it is. You go and watch it because it's more you will realize when you see it. But she she those things come alive, and she says, "Did I do that?" Um, because they're wondering how did it, but actually it was actually one of her baby inside. But I'll tell you about more about that later when we get to her giving birth. But actually before that we see that her and Vision actually talking about everything that's going on, and that things aren't really actually so smooth, and Vision kind of mentions everything that's happened in the last two episodes as well, and you can kind of already see him kind of figuring everything out. He's starting to question everything that's going on, and he kind of feels like everything is not fully right. Something is actually not fully clear and good. But then you see like a quick cut, and it just all resets, and you can kind of definitely know that that's one that doing that again, just like last time when she saw the beekeeper, and she just said no, and she rewinded everything. So this is kind of like the same thing again. She's trying to um, not make Vision realize, and that's also first thing to that we can see that Wanda does kind of know that this is not actually fully real, but she's trying to suppress that so much. She's trying to take that away and trying to make herself like, yeah, this is real. We're trying to like she's trying to make it as real as possible. She's trying to take away any like hints or any anything that can change that thought and change that reality and change that like view of it being real. Anything that can prove that it's fake, that it's not actually a realistic world. She's trying to shun that away. She always at once just takes that away, and you can kind of see that's really affecting her, really affecting her mentally, and also that is affecting her powers as well, along with the pregnancy, because every time she goes through it all, her powers really go crazy and everything around her go crazy. And same with Vision, when he stresses up, he starts floating up in the air and all that stuff. So they, after they have done the crib thing, uh there's not too much happens. They just go through a few things normally, but then suddenly Vision leaves to get the doctor, because yeah, she feels like it's like cramps or stuff, or and it's something's happening where he needs to bring him in again to let her know, like to help her, because then the baby could be coming, because it's going really quickly, and she's going through it like that, just in a few hours, the whole labor. And as I mentioned earlier, the water broke and all that stuff. So we see then that Monica Rambeau comes in. She's asking Wanda for like a paint bucket or something. I think she's gonna do something. She got a promotion as well. They start talking about her job, and so she's saying that she got a promotion and everything. And throughout this, Wanda is trying to hide her pregnancy. She's trying to hide it. So like with a fruit bowl and all that. And those are some subtle little hints and funny things that's going on. And then we see she does paint a stork, by the way, on the wall in the like the child bedroom. And she does paint a stork like with like has a little, I don't know, little cloth thing with a baby in its mouth and its beak like hang out. The stork comes with the baby, all that stuff. So but then an actual stork appears. Like it's an actual stork that comes out, and she's trying to turn like Monica's or Geraldine's, as she's calling it there, attention away from that stork. And Wanda's like trying to make the stork go away, but it just comes up like some kind of red smoke, and it doesn't go away. She can't possibly. She's just trying her best to get it over, to make it disappear, but it doesn't work. And this is the first kind of little hint that maybe she isn't as in control as we could have maybe thought, because if she was really fully controlling everything, she would have maybe just, as everything else, she could have just made that thing just disappear at once. But as Stork appeared, that it kind of has a feeling like that thing has more significance than we really can think at first. Um, because we can backtrack again to Mephisto. Um, as we've seen before, there is something going on here, like because with her babies, like I'll get to that in a second, but we have seen before that there is some hints towards Mephisto, and this can also be a indication that that's could be the first form of Mephisto, because that store kind of has some extra like power. It's harder to deal with, for it harder to take away. So that could be an indication that that could be the first form of Mephisto, or at least Mephisto has was the one who brought in that stork. Um, but anyways, Monica see after a while they walk into the room. The stork like stands against the painting of the wall, so she doesn't notice that. But then she said, "I can't like stop, no," and then she feels like the baby is coming. Like she feels like it's time. She's about to give birth, and Monica's like, "Yeah, you're pregnant." And then they go out in the living room again, and at that time as well, Vision comes back in. Um, and he was, I don't know if he was out getting the doctor back then, or he was doing something. At least he was out doing something. And he comes in, he sees that, and she's telling him like, "Yeah, we need a doctor." And he's like, but he's like he already said that he's on vacation, so he quickly goes away to stop the doctor from going on vacation, to get him back to help Wanda give birth. But it will already be too late, pretty much, because the babies babies, yeah, plural, because it is twins. as we all kind of expected it to be. There's twins in the comics as well, and those are Wickham and Speed, right? That's what they're called. And this also their normal names are Tommy and Billy. So they have Wanda and Vision before earlier have a little back and forth on what they're gonna name the baby, but they don't know that it is twins. So that's also a little indication. So when the first baby comes out, which I believe is Wickham, I'm not entirely sure. Probably, no. I believe that was him because they call him Tommy. I think that's him. I can't remember now which one of them it is, but either way, the first baby, Monica, helps Wanda deliver the first baby, and everybody's nice. And then Vision comes back, and the doctor's there too, and but he's like, "Oh, I missed it," but she says, "Yeah, here's little Tommy," and I think that's what it says. Oh yeah, no. Vision says like, "Oh hi, little Tommy." He says he's accepting it. Yeah, he chose Tommy for the name, and Wanda's happy about that. Everyone's happy. Like they stand and talk and a little bit, and Monica goes out for the side, and also the doctor will be appearing soon. But and then she feels like another one coming. She feels directly that there's more, and then they start panicking as well. And before that, while Wanda was giving birth, everything in around the house was being affected by her powers, like things spinning around and everything going crazy like that. So at this point now, the doctor is also there, so he will help. He helps deliver the second baby as well, and there's another boy, of course, and this is where it all goes really strange. Because just before that, just before we saw that, we had Vision outside. He was actually outside, and he did see meet up with Agnes and Ralph or Herbert or whatever his name is, right? Because early in the episode he talks to him, to Ralph, and he's like cutting like hedges and stuff, and he cuts through like the side mural wall thing right there, and he's like, "You're cutting a little bit too far there, buddy," and he's like, "Yeah, oh well, guess I am," and he just keeps going, and that's you can see really that yeah, they're being controlled somehow, right? Right, and we can even see that even more now when Vision talks to them. They ask Vision like, "Where is what's going on? Like, hi, um, what are they doing in there?" They're like talking to each other. What are they doing in there? What? And then they ask Vision, "Is Monica in there? Where is she? Is she in there?" He's like, "Yeah," and then they say she has nobody. She has nothing. Like she has no love. She has no husband. And Vision says like, "Yeah, that's fine. That's thing." And they say no home. So it's like she doesn't have any home here, and that makes Vision like, "What? What do you mean no home?" And Agnes, which many people speculate is Agatha Harkness, you know, comes in here when Ralph starts talking and saying like it's because we're he's like he repeats that twice, and she's like shushes him. She's like, "No, stop." Um, and what I believe he was trying to say was like it's because we're all trapped. You know, he was about to almost reveal that, and she stopped him. And that's also a little bit more indication that she could be one of the villains as well, and she has power of that along with Mephisto. Maybe she's working with Mephisto in this to try to deliver, you know, Wanda's babies and then take them, because that's what happens in the comics as well. So then we see, well, then everything else pans out as it was. Those two, they go, and Vision walks in and all that. But afterwards, while Wanda is standing at the crib with both her twins laying in the crib, she mentions something. She says something um, like, I used to be a twin once. I had a twin brother. And Monica's like, oh really? Yeah, his name was Pietro. And she's like, has her accent as well as she says his name. That was like a big name. I was like, whoa. They mentioned this is the first time they mentioned Quicksilver kind of since Age of Ultron, really. So this that was a real big name drop. And then Monica really screwed up, but she starts saying she's like, "No, Pietro, wait, didn't he get killed by Ultron?" And that's when everything just like, oh, she mentions Ultron, and um that was a big shocker. But that makes Wanda really pissed, and she's like, "What did you say?" Like, and then Monica backs up like, "No, you don't have to behave, act like this. You don't have to do this. Like, calm down, Wanda." And it's like, "What did you say?" Like, I'm gonna like, she's like, "I'm gonna fucking kill you for that. I'm gonna send you out." And as Monica backs away, they zoom in and we see it's like a necklace, and we see like the emblem of sword in that necklace, and then that kind of confirms that yes, Monica is an agent of sword, kind of, and it was probably sent here by either Nick Fury or somebody else like that to investigate. And she kind of got, as she got in, she was maybe affected in somewhat by everything, but this really made her like go more clear in her head again. And down with like the last thing we see of her before the ending is like Wanda just walking towards her, and then we cut, and afterwards, like we see some other small things with Vision and all that stuff, and then Vision walks back in. I think this happens. No, no, actually, in reality, this happens at the same time. Now remember, sorry, I was a little bit tired. I have a lot to do today, but this happens around the same time as Vision is out there talking to Agnes and her Ralph. I need to know exactly what his name is. It's just, I'll put it down below next time. I promise I'll know exactly what his name is. But this happens around the same time. So this after this, Vision walks in again, comes in again, and he asked where's Monica? What happened? And one of them like she left. He had to go, and she has like this kind of like angry, like cold stare, and it's like this airy kind of feeling afterwards. And this music also feels a little bit weird, and that's pretty much where the episode kind of ends. Um, and we see then by the end, like it cuts off, and we see Monica getting sent out through of that reality. Wanda has sent her out. She flies out, and she gets sent out, and we then see a lot of all these sword agents gathering around, trying to help her up and all that around that place, and that's where the episode ends. This is like, and that's pretty much the whole plot. But this is like very very interesting because this is the most I've really hinted towards what's actually gonna happen and what's really connecting with everything. And I've seen some other theories as well saying that this is Mephisto. This is Mephisto working with Agatha Harkness and possibly also the Green Reaper in some way. We haven't seen much more details about him, but it is a little one. Agnes is wearing this kind of necklace as well, which has a picture of a Green Reaper on, and with two children. So that can be an indication towards the Green Reaper and the two twins. You know, the Wanda's babies, baby boys were her twins, uh, Tommy and Billy, or Wiccan and Speed. Um, Wiccan and Speed, though, they have the powers of Wiccan has powers of Wanda, kind of some type of forming vision, this kind of stuff, and Speed, of course, by his name, he has the powers of Pietro, in a way. So yeah, that's a small hint towards him as well, and that is on her as well, that she's wearing the necklace. That proves that theory even more. but we have to wait and see if that's actually the case. But it's slowly starting to hint to more and more towards it. And there's also one more thing that happens in the episode that I didn't mention earlier, but I just wanted to wait until then because it is kind of significant. In the beginning of the, so like in the intro, we see kind of hexagons going around. This and those are like the six sides. Um, there's different theories about this. This can mean different things. One of the theories I saw is like this is kind of mean with the 3 episodes we already have already, and this and the sixth there. Like it's like then it's supposed to be like the 666, devil's number, like the number of the beast kind of stuff, and that could be a small of a hint towards Mephisto as well, as he's seen as the devil in the Marvel universe. But there's also a little small other type of detail as well that can mean um some other things as well in some type of way surrounding like some other details, but I'll maybe get into that another time. But we can see now that Sword is kind of an extension of Shield, I believe, or like they're either like a separate thing, a new version of Shield, or like an extension of Shield. Not exactly 100% sure which one it is, but Nick Fury is probably has done something along those lines. He's set up this things or all this thing around it. We haven't seen yet anything more from Randall Park's character, like Jimmy Woo, or even like we haven't seen Darcy appear yet, but that's probably coming soon in the next couple episodes. More about the police and all that stuff, of how they get involved as well. But but before I end this, a little bit longer than I thought it would be, but before I end it, I want to just say that the final detail about Mephisto is that when the stork comes in, he's going around when Monica is talking to Wanda. We see that the stork kind of nibbles at her pants. The pants show kind of fish, on it. But normally you will think, oh, the stork's eating fish. No, wow, very funny. But no, the fish. I'm not fully into this. Like I'm a Christian, so I don't know exactly all the kind of religious stuff. But I read that the fish could be a sign, like an image based on, like something to do with Jesus or something like that. And there's red stripe on that can indicate some blood or something in some type of way. And then we see the stork trying to grab those. So that can be a small hint as well, possibly like the devil trying to like the devil and the little clashing side kind of thing going on. That can be a small hint of that could actually be Mephisto as well. But that's just a little small hint in there. But also there was a commercial in this, another one again, and it's about a soap. And during the commercial, you see this woman being stressed out and something, and the voice says, "Use this soap. You'll feel better. You'll feel less stressed. We can help you like relax." Good, and it's called um Hydra soap or something, or Hydra cleaner, something like that. I believe it was called. So that's another hint towards Hydra once again, and their involvement as well. They have some type of big involvement too, and they can be in some works as well in this. But I see this now as that they slowly hint towards something with these commercials in some way, because we'll probably see the Hydra has built themselves up in some way and is some type of separate organization as well. So who knows? Who knows what this really is? But that's another thing. Also with the commercial, you can see those things with the stress and everything. That can also be hinting towards, Wanda's state of mind and how she's stressed about all this, and really how she wants to get away and feel happy and good in like a enclosed place and get away from stress and get away from sadness and all that. So that can be a small kind of thing about that as well. in that commercial. But yeah, but that's pretty much it. I'm sorry if I missed some things. I'm doing this quickly because I had way more to do today than I thought I would. So I haven't had the time, and I've occupied with a lot of schoolwork as well. So I can't really put out like the most see through videos. I don't have the time to write everything down, but hopefully this is good enough. I watched this yesterday. I'm filming this on Saturday, so Saturday the day after. So it's like my memory is like a little clouded. I watched it through quickly again. I need to watch the episode through a few more times. So if I have forgotten anything, I'm sorry. I'll mention that next time, next week's episode, the review of the next episode, maybe entitled together in some type of way. But that's at least overall what it is, like what I think about it and what all of it shaping up to be. That's pretty much the whole gist of the whole episode. This one dove in more, not more about the reality, and I cannot wait till next week's episode. Hopefully, they show even more because the name droppings in this with Pietro and with Ultron and all that. That was very fun to see. I love that they had those callbacks and they're finally mentioning him again. So this can be setting up a lot of things for the future. So yeah. Um. Um. Let's see. Is anything else I missed? No, I don't think so. Um. Uh, it's like there's also like this thing. Yeah, I forgot to say earlier. The doctor, when the doctor comes back, as well, he says it's hard to escape town. He says he's not gonna go on vacation because it's hard to escape town. That's what I forgot to say it, but yeah, and that was also a little smaller hint towards this is something that's being controlled and they're all trapped in there. So this really explored a lot about that, about this reality really being that enclosed and everybody really kind of being mind controlled in some type of way. But whether that is one that fully doing that or maybe Mephisto and Agatha has something to do with that as well, or the Green Reaper, we'll just have to wait and see. But those four, those three are pretty much the ones that have the most power in this realm. They're the ones with the powers, and one that actually made a deal with Mephisto, or this is him just coming in doing this by himself, and one that's just trying to escape. It's not entirely sure because in the comics she does make a deal somewhat with him overall, and but we'll just have to wait and see what happens in the coming episodes, definitely. So yeah, that's pretty much it for my review of this episode WandaVision episode 3. Sorry if I was a little bit over the place. I went back and forth. As I said, I had a lot to do, and I wasn't even sure I was going to be able to even film this. But why not? But I also did a real reaction to those final parts of that episode as well, and that's up on the channel right now, so you can go check that out. I'll probably leave a link down below, maybe a notification up here, like later on, possibly if I remember. But it's on the channel, so go check that out if you haven't already. But other than that, um, yeah, that's pretty much it for now. Thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. Also, give a like on this video if you enjoyed it. And yeah, leave a comment down below and tell me what you think so far about WandaVision. And tell me also if you think I missed something, or if you think any of these theories are actually real, or who do you think is actually the villain. There's some theories about Wanda herself being the villain, maybe. So yeah. This went on longer than I thought it would. I'm sorry for that, but next time we'll be better prepared. But yeah, thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.